You reported on leasehold issues in the past, and more recently St George's Wharf in Vauxhall. What is your view on how the industry delivers services?
Well, some of it is appalling. St George's Wharf, which you just mentioned, that was a £1 million payout made because of a leasehold valuation tribunal action taken by the residents. You then got £250,000 down the river in Kingston at Charter Quay. Both these are huge settlements. So one's talking about an industry where, at worst, managing agents are extremely predatory and possibly undertaking illegal activity.
How can managing agents do more to engage residents and be honest about the services they provide?
Well, it's interesting because in Scotland this year, new legislation has come into force, and all managing agents are going to have to be registered, and that there will be a grievance redress system put into place. Now, in Scotland, tenancy deposits were also introduced and came into force in England as a result of the Scottish experience. So I would say that they're in advance of England. England has a completely unmanaged, unregulated industry, and I suppose the best thing that any managing agent can do is to sign up to the conditions that are conditions of entry to the Leasehold Knowledge Partnership.
Until realistic reform is achieved, what are LKP offering to help leaseholders?
Well, we're encouraging house builders to ditch discredited managing agents who've lost continuously leasehold valuation tribunal rulings, to set up. We're helping them when they set up their own managing agencies. We're ensuring that these managing agencies abide by good practice. We're also setting up a portal which will encourage people to go down the road to right to manage in a very affordable and easily comprehensible manner.
You've recently teamed up with Melissa Briggs of Carlix and LKP. Can you tell me how this partnership came about?
Yes, when I first met Melissa when I was writing about issues of leasehold in the retirement sector, she is a highly effective campaigner. She has done more to bring this issue of leasehold exploitation amongst old age pensioners to prominence in this country than any other campaigner. She is probably responsible for Peveril being in administration at the moment, and the fact that it is still up for sale 9 months after it has gone into administration. So I feel that is a huge achievement, and I think that she made that issue national news. I believe that leasehold, issues surrounding leasehold are one of the most fraught issues in property at the moment. We have 1.5 million leaseholders in this country, so possibly 3 million people living in leasehold accommodation. More is going to be produced as we have an expanding population and we need more houses. Now, at the Leasehold Knowledge Partnership, we are campaigning for common hold development in preference to leasehold. In this, we are following common practice on the continent and in North America and in Australasia, places where leasehold, which is part of a survival of feudal law in England, was adopted, but it was eradicated in every other part of the English-speaking jurisdiction except in England itself. And it is a mistake because it always puts the leaseholder at a position of disadvantage. We want leaseholders to be freeholders. We want leaseholders who do exist at the moment to be treated well. We do not want them to be preyed upon by rapacious managing agents who load charges at every opportunity. We do not want freeholders and managing agents to be one and the same company, loading fees again and again. And we have seen outrageous cases of exploitation. We have seen the £1 million settlement at St George's Wharf. We have seen the £500,000 settlement at Charter Quay in Kingston. We are about to see Chelsea Bridge Wharf, another very prominent landmark London development, go to right to manage. In countless issues, countless developments up and down the country, we are seeing leaseholders take power and arrange their homes in a more equitable way by taking on rapacious managing agents, and that is why I'm assisting Leasehold Knowledge Partnership.
What are your plans for 2012 and what can we expect from you?
In terms of coverage, there will be a number of things. There will be more leasehold valuation tribunal judgments. Many of these will be pretty controversial. I'll be also reporting on Melissa's campaign and her dealings with the government, negotiations with the Prime Minister and with communities and local government to change leasehold law. Hopefully we will also see some of the developers beginning to build common hold properties. I don't say there's only about 12 so far in the country. I think we shall see more of those.
Can you just explain what LK Paid is and how that will work?
LK Paid is a fund in which we will be assisting leaseholders take their cases to the Leasehold Valuation Tribunal. This is often a very complicated and fraught stage for ordinary members of the public to undertake. They're often bamboozled by the legal arguments. Very expensive lawyers are employed by the opposing side. Often it will be solicitors, sub-instructing barristers, documents, often dossiers 4 inches thick will be delivered the night before the hearing takes place. Ordinary people are bamboozled by this sort of thing. LK Paid will provide some funds for legal advice in order to ease this process.